The French Quarter, the Vieux Carré. Vieux Carré, by the way, means old square. This is the oldest part of the city of New Orleans, the original city, planned out about 300 years ago. And there's a lot of these structures in the city that there's probably a few thousand of them. There's actually a lot in what's called the lower quarter where we are now. And this is a Creole Cottage. Creole Cottage typically will have 4 openings in the front, sometimes 4 kind of almost like doors that would open to the outside with shutters. And a lot of times a half story at the top with these dormer windows kind of protruding out that you see here. There are other types of these Creole cottages that you'll see too. Some do not have the dormer windows, like this cottage. Again, these are all over the place. And these Creole cottages are something that at least partially developed here in the New World and here in South Louisiana and also in the Caribbean. You can see the 4 openings there. Again, 4 ways to go into the house. What they're trying to do is to create a breeze channel through the house by having as many openings as possible. So some beautiful birds there walking by. Taking the pets out for a walk. Now, a lot of times these Creole cottages will have a fireplace that pretty much divides the house. So you'll see the fireplace sticking up through the middle of the roof there, and then on each side of the fireplace there will be a place for a fire with one chimney going up. So in other words, there's one room over here on this side, another room over here on this side, usually 4 rooms, no hallways. You can open up these shutters and let the breeze go right through the house. So with these Creole cottages, people live in them today. Of course, a lot of them have been restored. A lot of these Creole cottages built in the period in the late 1700s into the 1800s. I'm going to show you one of the older Creole cottages. This Creole cottage definitely dates to the 1700s. Brick between post-construction, which indicates the age, usually built in the late 1700s and early 1800s. This particular structure is believed to be one of the oldest structures in New Orleans, and possibly one of the oldest structures really in the Mississippi River Valley between the Appalachian Mountains and the Rocky Mountains. This is Lafitte's Blacksmith shop. It's actually a bar, but it was one of these Creole, it's, you know, a Creole cottage really. And again, you can see how it opens up. Now, there's a bar in here now, so the floor plan inside is changed, but you can see the fireplace, how there's a fireplace on one side over here. And then of course this would be a wall at one time, and then another fireplace on the other side, and very open construction. Of course things have changed over time, but you would allow as much of a breeze channel as possible and as many openings as possible through the house. Lafitte's Blacksmith shop, by the way, is on Bourbon Street, kind of a quiet part of Bourbon Street, not the area where they have all of the neon signs, but it's a quaint little bar. A lot of locals visit this place as well as people visiting the city. By the way, this bar, sometimes referred to as the oldest bar in the United States, it's the oldest structure that contains a bar. And it's named Lafitte's Blacksmith shop. It's actually after the pirate Jean Lafitte. Now, whether it was actually a blacksmith shop for Jean Lafitte is not, but Jean Lafitte was a real pirate. So he did hang out here in the city. Here's some verbiage on Jean Lafitte. So if you have a chance to venture out into New Orleans, want to find out more about these Creole houses, you can come to the French Quarter, the lower quarter, especially the Marigny, Tremé neighborhood, Bywater. But these Creole houses are all over the city. But these are the areas where they're most dominant here in the oldest part of the city. All right. Well, if you have a chance to come to New Orleans, you can venture over to Lafitte's and venture over to the lower quarter. I'm Munson Chauvin for New Orleans Walks.